the man accused of shooting Charlie Kirk. Well, his defense attorneys are now saying that the ATF could not conclusively determine that the bullet found in the autopsy of Charlie Kirk actually matches the gun that was allegedly used in the killing.
You know, sometimes you stumble onto something that just feels off. Like there's a whole puzzle piece missing. Or maybe someone's trying to hide the whole puzzle from you altogether. And what happens when you start asking questions about those missing pieces? Well, lately it seems like if you're an investigator or even just someone online connecting the dots, you might find yourself in a whole lot of trouble. I'm talking serious charges, just for pointing out things that don't quite add up.
Charlie Kirk was murdered. I think we have a very effective, very clued in surveillance and technology and well-funded U.S. military and law enforcement apparatus that knows every detail about Americans at all times. They can reconstruct.
Now, at first, people might have brushed off the whispers, the theories, the questions surrounding the Charlie Kirk case. They might have thought it was just internet chatter, a few folks getting a little too deep into conspiracy. But now, the way things are escalating, the way those who dare to question are being targeted, it makes you wonder, is there something much bigger, much darker happening behind the scenes? And speaking of things getting bigger, let's talk about something that just blew up the internet thanks to Candace Owens. She's exposed something truly wild, a company called Vine and Fig Tree, or VFT. Now, this isn't just some random tech startup. This is an Israeli firm. And get this, they're working hand in hand with the White House and none other than Sebastian Gorka. Their mission? Running what can only be described as a full-scale psychological operation against Americans who are simply trying to investigate the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Leaked documents. And yes, I'm talking about actual leaked documents here, show that VFT isn't just observing, they're actively monitoring and smearing conservative voices. We're talking about people like Candace herself, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, anyone who dares to step outside the official narrative. They're being labeled as dissidents, and even worse, domestic terrorists. The implication? That these individuals are falling for foreign propaganda simply because they're asking questions. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? That asking for transparency can get you branded as a threat to national security. But it gets even more disturbing. These documents aren't just about labeling. They're literally recommending cyber attacks and calling for a whole-of-government response against anyone who refuses to swallow the Fed slop narrative. Think about that for a second. If you don't agree with the official story, if you point out inconsistencies, if you connect dots that others are trying to keep separate, you could be targeted with cyber attacks. And it's not just some fringe group saying this. It's a company working with the highest levels of government. This isn't just about controlling information. It's about actively silencing dissent. It's about making sure that the only story you hear is the one they want you to hear. And if you try to find another, you become the enemy. This is where things get interesting, and frankly, where they get incredibly suspicious. Now, let's talk about the actual details of the Charlie Kirk case, because this is where the official story starts to unravel for a lot of people. Remember all the talk about the rifle found at the crime scene? Well, in March 2026, a court filing dropped that really made people stop and think. Federal firearms experts, the very people you'd expect to have all the answers, couldn't definitively match the recovered bullet fragments to the rifle. They said the fragments were too small, too deformed to make a definitive match. Now, the experts tried to clarify, saying it's not uncommon, but for many online investigators, this was a huge red flag. It immediately raised the question, if the bullet fragments don't definitively match the rifle, what exactly are we being told?
Let's talk about Tyler Robinson's family. We were under the impression, we'd been told this whole time, that Tyler Robinson's family knew it was him from the beginning and they turned him in. That they were good, moral people, and they saw that their son and grandson had done something wrong.
And this is where Candace Owens once again stepped into the spotlight, bringing up what she calls the trapdoor narrative. She publicly questioned the official story, suggesting that the shot didn't come from a rooftop at all. Instead, she alleged a massive cover-up, pointing fingers at individuals close to Kirk, or even within Turning Point USA itself. She called for an investigation into a trapdoor leading to underground tunnels at the scene. Now, that might sound wild to some, but when you're already questioning the ballistics, when the timing starts looking suspicious, these kinds of theories gain traction. People online immediately started calling that suspicious. Of course, Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, pushed back against these claims, denying denying any internal betrayal. But the speculation wildly circulated that Kirk was set up or betrayed by his own close associates. This isn't just a single shooter anymore. It's about a potential network, an inside job. And as if the VFT revelations and the ballistic questions weren't enough, we also have to talk about the blatant attempts to control the narrative. It's almost as if when one story starts to crumble, another's quickly propped up to distract everyone. Some left-wing social media accounts, for instance, were quick to claim that the assassination was a false flag operation orchestrated by the Trump administration. Their theory? That the unaliving was used as a state-level diversion, specifically designed to draw media attention away from the unsealing of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Now, whether you believe that or not, the timing is what people are questioning. It's a classic move, isn't it? When things get too hot in one area, suddenly a new, equally sensational story emerges to pull focus. Then there's the deeply unsettling anti-Semitic conspiracy theory that Israel, or even Mossad, orchestrated the assassination. Promoters of this theory pointed to Kirk's past criticisms of Jewish donors and the questioning of the October 7th Hamas attacks, arguing that the unaliving was state-sponsored retaliation. Now, as you've seen, people immediately noticed this, and it added another layer of suspicion to an already murky situation. And let's not forget Candace Owens' other big call-out, Nick Shirley. She pointed to him as clearly being Fed-jacketed. What does that mean? It means he's been platformed, handed stories on a silver platter by outside forces, essentially acting as a mouthpiece for a predetermined narrative. It's all part of this larger Fed slop narrative, where the public spoon-fed a carefully curated version of events designed to prevent them from connecting the real dots. This is the detail people keep going back to, because it suggests a level of coordination that goes far beyond what we're being told. But here's where it gets really interesting, and frankly, a little infuriating. When people start questioning these narratives, when they start connecting the dots, what happens? They're immediately labeled as falling for foreign disinformation campaigns. According to tracking firms like NewsGuard and reports from the Institute for Strategic Dialogue, ISD, state-aligned networks in Russia, China, and Iran are supposedly amplifying these domestic cover-up theories thousands of times online. Their digital campaigns, we're told, deliberately inflate narratives of an incomplete investigation to deepen political polarization and create the appearance of an impending American civil war. It's a convenient shield, isn't it? Any inconvenient truth, any uncomfortable question can just be dismissed as foreign propaganda. But what about the real people? The internet investigators who are just trying to make sense of what's happening. They're not foreign agents, they're just people paying attention. And they're seeing things that don't add up, like this comment. While I believe Robinson is a patsy, I also believe that Candy O is paid to invent conspiracy theories to smear TPUSA. This shows the complexity of the situation, where even those who question the official story might have their own suspicions about the messengers. It's a messy, complicated web, and it's exactly what happens when trust in official narratives erodes. Then there's this. Folks investigating Charlie's assassination are heroes because we know Robinson was set up as the patsy and the government is in cover-up mode. If the government wanted the real killers, they'd be mounting a massive investigation to get to the truth. Charlie knew who was going to kill him, and he told people. He knew. This isn't just a comment, it's a cry for justice, a deep-seated belief that the truth is being suppressed. It's the voice of someone who feels like they're part of an ongoing political investigation, connecting dots with us in real time. And when you see the way official channels react, it only fuels that fire. As another user put it, they're obviously guilty when they have to carry on like that. One of the signs of a psyop. This stopped feeling random very quickly. So what do we do when the official story is full of holes? When those who question are threatened, and when every attempt to connect the dots is labeled as foreign disinformation? We keep asking questions. We keep looking for truth. Because once you start connecting all the rumors together, people online are saying the timeline suddenly starts looking very suspicious.